Alright, Fishaholics, well, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Rich. Welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if you enjoyed at the end, also to help out with the YouTube algorithm and help this channel grow. And check out the new toy that I got here. I am going to give you a sneak peek at that at the end of the vid, so stay tuned. And before we hit the road and launch the kayak out on the river, and I think we're gonna do some flats fishing, I wanna give you a closer look at the rig and show you some updates that I did recently or this past week, because it has just been so depressing and snarky and rainy and wet. I think this whole week I've only gotten out once, and I got totally beat up by the wind, and I found fish but just couldn't get them to bite. But let's hop up here and check out the brand new glove box I just put in with a stainless steel latch, key entry, and that'll be perfect for putting some valuables in while we're out there on the water. Hopefully some of you guys that booked me as a charter this season out of Montauk will be putting some of your stuff in there. And I had 2 units here, a VHF and a stereo radio, that both didn't work, so I ripped them out, made the 2 holes 1 hole. Got this glove box from like boatoutfitters.com or boateroutfitters.com. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, and it was like 225 bucks, which was a little steep and kind of made me think about the purchase a little bit before pulling my debit card out, but it's so totally worth it. I'm really happy that I got it, and it was a cool little DIY like project. And I also replaced the cigarette lighter and put in a new dual USB port right there. And also check out the new shifter or binnacle that was recently put in. And you see, when I got this boat, in order to turn over the Suzuki 4-stroke 225, you had to like turn the key and shake the binnacle just to get it to turn over. And it worked every time, you know, from Montauk, where I got this boat, to Jersey, and then from Jersey to the Carolinas. As soon as I got it down here, I turned, started the engine, turned right over, and I turned the engine off, and it just wouldn't want to start at all again. So I had to bring the boat in anyway for an annual service. I brought it to like Butler Marine down here, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but they did the annual service. That was like $400 or $500, and I told them I was having starting issues. So they took a look at the binnacle, and it turned out like all the switches in there were basically like corroded and falling apart. So they put in a new binnacle for like another $600. So a lot of money flying out the window to get this rig ready for the season. But so totally worth it. And if you guys could help support in any way, I'll put links for my merch down in the description, or any of those links if you click can help me in some way. So please do. It would mean the world to me. But yeah, now the engine starts right up. She purrs like a kitten, and it's pretty sweet. So I'm stoked with all the little additions. Oh, and I also recently just got some new cushions here for both of the fold-up seats, and that was like another $300. And you know, this rig is definitely coming together. Some other little additions that I want to do are put down, I think, like a new turf on the deck, and I think that'll just give the overall deck a little bit of a facelift, being that this is an 04 boat, and you know, there's some wear on the deck. So, you know, cleaning the deck and then covering it, I think it'll just make the boat look a little more pretty. And then finally, the most expensive thing that I'm probably going to be doing down here is adding a bow-mounted electric motor, and that'll probably be like $2,000, maybe a little more. And then also getting, you know, the right batteries and chargers for it, which would be another like few hundred, so, or more, especially if I get like lithium-ion batteries, like Dakota Lithium. I think I might look into getting. If you guys have any feedback on that, let me know. But yeah, so that's just some projects that I'm working on with the new rig, and I hope you guys are excited to kind of see this boat evolve into the ultimate fishing machine. So anyway, let's quit blabbing. And also, before I forget, huge shout out to Relic for mailing out to me this triggerfish hoodie. I'm having just trouble showing you the triggerfish, but yeah, huge shout out to those guys. And if you guys want to check out some of their apparel, I'll link that down below as well. But yeah, let's quit blabbing and head to the water and hopefully catch some fish today, because I've been fishless for too long. So let's do it. So just as I was about to leave, the mail came, and I got some brand new rocker switches. And if you take a closer look at these older ones, they're real crusty looking. So yeah, I'm gonna try and just do this little project before we hit the water. And I got these for like $1 off this company called like the Pacer Group, and I got with them on the phone. And they also sent me a wrench which helps remove the old rocker switches. See if it's as easy as they say it's supposed to be. And that was really easy, actually. And then we've got the new little switch here, which hopefully will pop right in. Look at that, beautiful. All right, made it out into the creek. It's just about low tide right now, and kind of crazy. In like the 20-30 minutes it took to get loaded, launch the kayak, this wind picked up, and it feels like it's blowing like 15 to 20 right now. Like I'm going 3 miles an hour and not even like moving the kayak at all right now. And we're gonna head up the creek about another quarter mile onto a flat and fish the beginning of the incoming, and just see if we can make it happen and find some reds. All right, well, we made it up onto this flat here, and we're trying to work our way a little bit further back. All right, let's try posting up right behind this oyster bar. It looks pretty shallow, like right there, so I'm thinking maybe we'll be able to put the drive down, and the drive will work like our makeshift power poles, keeping us on the spot. All right, hopefully that holds us. I'm gonna start off with just a little 3-inch Z-Man swim bait. Just hop this along the bottom. Water's a little murky, but if we put this right in front of a red, he'll definitely see it and probably slurp it up. Just have to fish it a little bit slower. Our technique to hold us on one spot by using the drive isn't working. Oh, this wind is just so strong today. This wind is just making it too brutal to try and effectively fish, so I'm gonna try pulling the kayak up on these oysters and fishing from there. Looks like this tide is already starting to come in pretty strong. I mean, this wind is blowing all this water right in here. So I'm thinking any fish are gonna be coming right through this little bottleneck. And then they might be sitting, they'll sit behind that oyster bar, or they'll sit right behind this one here. I mean, if we're really lucky, we might be able to even spot some fish that are just cruising right in here, and we'll be able to catch them. It's got to be blowing way over 20 right now, maybe even gusting at 25 or 30. It's crazy. It is going to be a wet, cold ride back to the ramp. That's what I know for sure. It'll be worth it though, at least if we can get a couple nice fish. Ooh, it is getting cold. It's been about 45 minutes or so, and I haven't had any bites or haven't seen any fish cruising along this oyster bar, but we're gonna give it like another 45 minutes or so. I have a feeling that eventually some fish will start showing up along here somewhere. Something just busted on top right there. Oh, I think we just got bit actually. Or our plastic got pulled down. Jesus. There's one. Finally. Been standing on this oyster bar for about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes now. Finally got our first little bite from this nice little red. One spot on that side, 3 on that side. Pretty cool. I was a little worried there for a second that we were gonna get skunked. All right, well, we tried to stick it out for a little bit longer after that one and only redfish, and we tried for like another 30 minutes or so, and not another touch. And the temps today were supposed to be in like the mid 50s, but with this wind, whew, my hands are frozen. It feels like it's more like the mid 40s. But yeah, we're gonna start working our way back to the launch, and we're gonna bust open that box, and I'm gonna show you guys the new reel that I just got recently, which I'm pretty stoked to be able to fish with this season in the surf. So yeah, let's put the camera away, and I'll see you guys back at the truck. Whew, ooh, we made it back. That was a very wet, cold, and windy ride to the launch, but we made it. And was it worth it? Not really, but I'm glad we at least got out, because like the last week and a half, it's been so hard to get out, because when it's overcast and cloudy, it's been raining like a monsoon outside. And then, you know, when it's clear, it's just, the wind is cranking like it was today. But at least we caught a fish. We made the right decision, I think, by beaching the kayak on that oyster bar. And I think if it wasn't windy, we would have had a better chance of fishing more effectively in that area, and probably would have caught a few more fish or got on a bite. But hey, got our hands a little wet and slimy, so I can't complain. And hopefully moving forward, the weather will get better. And I think I'm going to be heading to Florida pretty soon. Just waiting for a couple things in the mail, so we're ready for our trip. And now I want to show you guys the Visser number series spinning reel. This is a fully sealed submersible spinning reel. And as soon as I heard this reel was coming out, I wanted to get my hands on it. And huge thanks to J&H Tackle for making that possible. I'm not sponsored by Visser or associated with them in any way, but I wanted to try this reel because it's, you know, another alternative option to a similar reel, such as like a Van Staal. So being that I do a lot of surf fishing and submerging my reel, and I, you know, really beat my reels up in the salt, I wanted to try this to see if this reel can go through the test of time. And if you guys follow along, you'll be able to see how it handles. If, you know, anything breaks or anything happens to it, I'll let you know. And therefore, maybe you'll decide if you want to get a reel like this. But yeah, let's bust her open. And if you're looking for a more in-depth video about this reel, check out Tackle Advisors. I think he did a video recently where he like takes the reel apart, puts it back together, and really goes over the specs a lot more so than I think I will do in this little skit. But right out of the gate, as soon as you open the box, you've got a nice little Visser reel case, which would be cool if you're traveling with the reel, or if you're just putting it away for the season and want to bag it up. And then we've got a little manual here about parts and service. And then right on top here, we've got a little tool for servicing the reel, although in that little manual, I believe they recommend sending it back to their Product Development Center in Seymour, Connecticut. And then we've got the handle for the reel here, which I'm really in love with. This power knob is going to be really sweet for cranking on fish, cranking on big fish, and it's really free moving. It's got a lot of good movement to it. And then we pop up that little bit of styrofoam, and we've got the reel here. This is the number 7 series size, and it's very similar to, say, a 200 VS size reel. It's a little bit smaller than my VS 250, and that's kind of like what I was looking for in a reel, because I already have the VS 250. I wanted something just a little bit smaller, but something that was just as tough and rugged and submersible, and that's why I figured this would be a good option. And also in the box here, in case you don't want to have the bail, I might end up taking the bail off eventually. You have a little conversion kit here, which I find it to be a lot easier having no bail, but of course some people prefer it, so it's cool that it comes with it. And when I first took this reel out of the box a couple days ago, I noticed that it was really stiff on the retrieve, but since cranking on it more and more, it's definitely loosened up a lot and feels very similar to a VS. And yeah, I'm digging it. It's really light. It's 16.5 ounces. The frame, rotor, and spool are made of Billet 6061 T6 aluminum. The gear ratio is 581, line retrieve 45 inches, which is pretty impressive. And the line capacity for mono, which is advertised here on the box, it says 260 yards of 60 pound. That's a lot of 60 pound that you could put on this size spinning reel. I don't know why they put mono on there. I mean, I would imagine most people would be loading this up with, say, a mono backing of like 100, 150 yards, and then fill the rest up with braid, which is probably what I'm going to be doing. They also put braid line capacity on here, but it says 240M/PE6. I'm not really sure what that means. If you know what it means, comment down below, or I'm sure Tackle Advisors has got me covered. But yesterday I actually put on about 50 yards of 30-pound mono below and 200 yards of 40-pound Green Moss Power Pro braid, and I still didn't fill up this spool. So after I'm done doing this, I'm gonna head to Walmart probably and get like some 30-pound mono, probably put on like 100 yards and then fill it up with braid. And she should be ready to go. We're gonna be heading to Florida soon, like I said, and I'm intrigued to put this to the test on some big old snook, tarpon, and then eventually bringing her up north and trying her in the surf for striped bass and bluefish. And if you guys follow along, hit that subscribe button. You'll be able to see how this reel handles, and hopefully nothing breaks, and she can be a new fit companion for the arsenal this season and for many years to come. But thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed. I'll put all the tackling equipment down in the description, and I will try my best moving forward to put together some more banger videos outside of this one. And like always, live to fish, fish to live.